Hello, my name is Jeffery Istre. I'm seeking the office of governor. I am 56 years old. I have my wife Angie, beautiful lady. Together we have 8 children. We have 11 grandchildren, and I'm a big family man. I work in the oil field, and I have a regular job just like everybody else in the state. I feel I'm uniquely qualified because I am average Joe. I have a regular job just like 70% of the middle class, blue collar, working people in this state. I am of the people. Not many candidates can say that, the ones that are top-notch major campaign donors. I am of the 70%, and I'm advocating for the 20% that's under the poverty rate. So that's 90% of the people in this state that I am running for office for. I feel that as an independent candidate, I can work with either side, the left and the right, to try to get things done for the people. I have no major campaign donors. Nobody owns me. I have no allegiance to any particular party. So I feel I am the most neutral candidate, and I am dedicated to working for the people. I have served my country in combat. I have served many cities in this state after natural disasters with the nonprofit I run. I have helped many families find missing persons, missing children through the nonprofit as well. My sense of service to the people is documented, and it shows. So I feel that somebody in my position with my history can do a lot for the people of this state and not for any special interest. The decline in population is mainly caused by the poverty rate in the state. We've had a 20% poverty rate for decades that has gone ignored by our legislators in Baton Rouge. They're pretending it doesn't exist. That's not going to keep people in the state. That's going to get the people to move to other states to do the same job for more money. We have to address the poverty issue in this state to keep the people here and to get some more to come back. Small town Main Street has been boarded up. I've seen many small towns in Louisiana that their main streets are just getting boarded up by the day. You can't have a small business in this state if you don't have people that are willing to spend money or don't have the money to spend. So our small towns are really suffering from the poverty issue in this state, and small mom and pops are going out of business left and right. I think if we address this poverty issue and fix it, that more people will stay in the state, and you're going to start seeing small town Main Street start opening back up. Louisiana is notorious for bad roads and bad bridges. It's been that way for a long time, and I think it's the leadership in the transportation department that's not been doing their jobs. In order to fix that, I would get with other states, ones that have good roads and bridges, get with their engineers, find out what we're doing wrong, and if we have to eliminate some people in the transportation department and get the right people in there, then that's what we're going to have to do. There's no way that we can't build a good road that lasts more than 5 years. You can go from Louisiana to Texas on the same road, and as soon as you cross into Texas, it gets immediately better. Okay, we have the same ground, the same base, the same everything, but somehow they build their roads better. So we need to tap into that and find out what we're doing wrong and fix it. And if that takes getting some people out of the office that are in there, then that's what we're going to have to do. It starts at the top, the leadership. I think our tax system does need to be adjusted, but I've heard people talk about getting rid of an income tax altogether, and I don't feel that's the proper way to go, because then your property taxes are going to jump up. They're going to get the money somewhere. Our income tax system is 1/3 of our income of the state. We cannot survive in this day and age a decrease in income like that without getting it from somewhere else on the backside. We're going to need our tax system to stay in place as is. We can reduce some taxes as we reduce some expenses in the state budget as well. But right now, in order to rebuild Louisiana, we're going to need those taxes. We're going to need to keep them as is right now, and then look at that as we progress, lowering those taxes and benefit the people of the state. Early childhood education is very important to me. My wife is a kindergarten teacher. She has been a teacher for 20 years. She is constantly having children come to her unprepared, even in kindergarten, unprepared and not ready for the school year and already behind in kindergarten. We need to invest in early childhood education. We need to give these young kids a head start on their education so that they continue it all through high school. It's going to affect our dropout rate. If the kids are doing well in school, they're not going to drop out. If they're doing well, then they're going to continue a secondary education. We need to invest in early childhood education, most importantly. I do believe that, and I get an earful from my wife every day on these children coming to her, and she's saying, and it's not just the children, the school system as well, the school boards. They're not doing their jobs. Teacher pay raises is another thing I'm advocating for. We can give the teachers a $400 a month raise by putting them on state pay, just like the police force and the firefighters. They get an added $400 to their paycheck from the state. I feel we can do this for the teachers as well, and we're going to pay for it with the casino money that was promised to us when we voted the casinos in. That was promised to the teachers, and they never got it. There's been many promises to teachers that never came around. I will see to that for sure as governor, but we need to have early childhood education to give these kids a good head start on the rest of their life, actually. As governor, I would be pushing the trade school. We have a lot of college graduates that can't find jobs. They have nice degrees, but they still can't find jobs because they don't have degrees in the fields that are needed right now. Right now in Louisiana, the trades are needed. Your electricians, your plumbers, your mechanics, cosmetology, nursing. Those are the skills that we need to push as a government and get those people into good paying jobs with very low student debt. I have a couple of children right now that have degrees and can't find a job. I have one child that got an engineering degree. That's a good one if you're going to go to college. He's working as an engineer right now. But you got to realize that if a child goes to college for 4 years and gets a general studies degree, that's not really going to help them out in the future. So I feel that these high school counselors need to also push the trades as well. They need to have sit all these seniors down, ask them what their 5-year plan is, ask them what their 10-year plan is, and actually guide these children into these the types of schools and professions that they need. Right now, there's a truck driver shortage. A kid out of high school can go to truck driving school for 30 days and then have a job starting at $60,000 a year with very little debt. It might not be the best job in the world, but it gets them started, and they can work on something later on in life to improve themselves and improve their situation. We need the trades right now. There's a lot of construction, a lot of welding. Welders are needed. I feel that we need to really push those in an effort to get this state back. Well, I work in the oil field. I've been affected by the Gulf shutdown. A lot of myself and my friends have gone to other states to find work. There's a green energy deal that I'm all for. More energy is more energy. But we can't turn off the fossil fuels overnight and flip the switch on green energy the next day. We're not set up for that. The infrastructure is not set up for that. I do believe that we can invest in that and get it going, but for now, we are dependent on fossil fuels. And the United States was the leading producer in the world a few years back. We produce more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia. I believe that we can get that back by seeking reserves that are in state, that are not affected by the government shutdown in the Gulf. We can't sit around and hope for a new president that's going to open that back up. And I think the president we have now is starting to realize he made a mistake with that. But we can invest in green energy as well as the oil field sector, and more energy is just more energy. I don't believe a constitutional convention is needed. When you do that, you open up the whole Constitution for change. I think we can do a better job by amendments to the Constitution and get things right. A whole constitutional convention that opens up the right to own guns, that opens up a myriad of a whole bunch of things that can get changed, which, I mean, as a majority would not be a bad idea, but the Constitution needs to stay solid and stay in force, and you amend it as necessary. Crime is a direct result of poverty. I believe our high crime rate is associated with our high poverty rate. If you don't have enough to eat, you're going to go and steal it. If you can't pay your electricity bill, you may do something worse, deal drugs or whatever to pay your money. If we address the poverty issue, the crime rate will go down. I can guarantee it. As far as for the Justice Department, I feel that they need to be supported. They need to be backed by the state government. We need to keep the death penalty in place. It is a strong deterrent to crime. We need to be strong on crime to deter it, basically. If you got a poor district attorney, if you got a poor attorney general, it's going to continue. But we need to attack it from both ends, both the poverty side and the criminal side, the punishment phase, to eliminate this problem. The three main issues I have in running with this election will be getting all field productions back up, decreasing the exodus from the state, and getting small town Main Street open up again. Teachers pay raises, and I've already explained that and how we're going to do it. And the poverty rate. We have been in last place in so many issues, that one in particular, forever. And what really concerns me about this, we have a 20% poverty rate, but we only have a 4% unemployment rate. So that tells me 16% of the people in this state get up, go to work every day, sweat, bleed, work 12 hours a day, and they still can't pay their bills. The legislature has voted down a minimum wage increase. That was terrible, terrible. We haven't had a minimum wage increase in 14 years. Price of eggs is going up. Price of gas going up, rent, housing, electricity, everything's going up in 14 years. Why hasn't minimum wage gone up? Now, I believe that minimum wage was not a career choice, should not be, but with the divorce rate we have in this state, we're finding that a single mother suddenly finds herself single with 3 children at home, and all she's ever done is raise children. So all she can get is a minimum wage job. That plus her child support may put her just under the poverty level, but an increase in the minimum wage could get her back on top above the poverty level and help her out. We've got a number of people in that situation with a 50% divorce rate, I believe. These women are finding themselves in a bad situation and difficult situation, and I think just a 50-cent increase every year for 4 years would not break a mom and pop's bank. They could afford to do that. Certainly the big businesses could afford to do that. The corporations and the CEOs have been getting rich off of the cheap labor they've gotten in Louisiana, because they're not increasing their pay and their profits are increasing. So I think they need to do more for their employees and help people out in this state. It's embarrassing. You know, I went to Colorado last summer, and somebody asked where I was from. I said Louisiana, and they said, "Oh, you poor thing." There's people in Colorado that know how bad we got it down here, but there's people in Baton Rouge that don't. I am going to change that. I am of the middle class, and I am going to work for the middle class and the poor people. There's people that don't want to see me in office, and they are extremely wealthy.